to take us home, we still have Chris White, who's going to give a quick spinning of a lot of what he's experienced and bring in the concept of collaboration and why there's no other way. It must be, that's the only way forward, right, Chris? And then afterward, it's the exciting award ceremony. So we'll need that energy in the room after, and everyone supporting those amazing leaders, startup innovators who either participated during the summit or were selected before. So we'll need that love and care after from all of you in the room. And for now, Chris, with no further ado, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. That's audience participation time. They're going to get a reaction from that. Good afternoon. Thank you. I have no guitar. I have no guitar. So in 15 minutes or less, and I will try not to speak at California speeds, so anyone where English is not their first language, I don't lose anyone. I want to talk about collaboration, but let me frame it up a little bit. I want to talk about two superpowers everyone can walk away with today and a framework on how to use it. And that framework I want to challenge you to use in your business, in your community, and in your life. And I am hopeful, and while hope is not a strategy, I would like you all to commit to leveraging this amazing event we've enjoyed to make a difference. Because while we're all scared about AI, we're all scared about the future, that is very normal and very human. What I want to challenge us all is with the superpowers of AI and collaboration, we can make a difference. We can make the world, Switzerland, your companies, anywhere in the world, even better than it needs to be. So I'm the publisher of a book. Never thought I was going to write a book. The book is Non-Optional Collaboration. Why did I write a book? My world, despite the AI tsunami, ground to a halt last year when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer for the second time. I decided to get out of the corporate life and support her. I had a lot of time on my hands in doctor's appointments and helping her just sleep through that horrendous treatment called chemotherapy. But boy, it made me I had a choice. I wanted to look at the world through a half full lens or a half empty lens. I would be lying if I didn't go through a lot of depression and hard feelings. But I reflected on an incredible journey I've had and my family had and what my wife has supported me on to this point. So I wrote a book to help leaders, to help new students in life learn from the amazing experiences, the amazing leaders, the amazing events like this I've been to accelerate their success. So let me jump in. I'm a tech guy, right? I worked for this small company in the Valley called Cisco back in the boom.com days. Started at 1 billion, left at 50 billion. We were the most valuable company on the planet for a while, and then our stock price dropped to $14 from a high of 72. For any of our long-term shareholders, the price now is above 72, so it's not quite a bad story. Before that, I did 2 startups. I didn't think I was a big company guy. Luckily, they were good. I was fortunate. Sold one to Microsoft, took the other public, sold to Cisco. Since then, I've been doing kind of heavy lifting, transformational work, helping a fuel cell company help the world be more sustainable, helped a connected lighting company connect lights. I most recently worked in the semiconductor world, where you kind of get to look into the future. You get to see a very positive view of the digital world. We are going to be putting semiconductors in knee joints to make sure your body doesn't react negatively to that before the inflammation shows up. So it will track how your body is reacting. Dexcom is a company that does diabetes patches, so insulin use is a lot more easier and more convenient. The digital future is a lot brighter than how scared we all feel at the moment today. And I want to walk you through that. Because before I get onto AI, I want to talk about collaboration. I truly believe collaboration is a superpower. However, like every powerful tool, you've got to be intentional and you've got to understand it. I don't know how many people were in the sports breakout yesterday. A few people? Yeah, there was a German gold medalist, a Swiss Olympiad. These are some options. I used to row, by the way. I didn't get to Olympic standards. Luckily, a teammate of mine, a guy called Sir Steve Redgrave, actually rowed with me many, many years ago. He was a lot better athlete. But look at the visuals here of what we can choose to do if we row. You can be a single person going on in a single direction. You can get into multiple boats that perform at high speeds. My wife and I and family went to Bangalore, India, and lived there for 2 years, and we got to see rowing at a wholly different scale. I don't know if any of you have seen these. These are called, these are dragon boats. These are serpent boats. 100 or 150 people in a boat focused on competing and winning together. So collaboration can be done at scale, but it needs to be intentional. You need to know each other well, and you need to be going in the right direction in amazing synchronization, working at it every day. And I will share with you a little bit more about how you do that. The second superpower, no surprise, we've talked a lot about it over the last 2 days. Everyone's talking about it. It's AI. However, look back in history and give us human beings some credit. We've got a pretty good track record of creating tools. However, us human beings also have a decision or a choice on how we use those tools. And the example I like to use is this great graphic here on the bottom, which is a car wrench in American. I don't know what you call that in German. What is that in German in there? So a car wrench, if you have a breakdown, if your wheel is flat on the side of a freeway, this becomes one of the most useful tools you can have in your car, okay? If you come back from a very nice restaurant in Switzerland and you have to go down a dark alley and someone has one of those tools, it's probably not a good tool to be coming face to face with. And I don't want to be glib about it, but AI is a superpower. There is $2.4 trillion being spent this year. That is 44% year over year. So the investment, the foundation of tools is there for us to use. The good news is no one's actually dictating to us how we use it. We're talking about experimentation in hospitality and healthcare on how best we can use this superpower. But I'll also look at this list and say, let's pick on the automobile. When the world first launched automobiles, us humans decided to walk in front of them holding a flag to slow that adoption of technology down. We eventually figured out that wasn't a good idea and got out of the way of automobiles, and the innovation kept rolling. I'll also remind you, when we first got into automobiles, they didn't have safety belts. They didn't have safety features. So it's our responsibility to help evolve technologies and the adoption in the right, safe, most beneficial way that humanity can use. So I reflected on this AI tsunami, I reflected on the great experience, and I decided to come up with a framework that I've used in multiple businesses. I've used it in the software business, the hardware business, the lighting business, the semiconductor business. And for any business people in the room, you'll look at a lot of these boxes and say, okay, there's nothing much revolutionary about this, but I will challenge you, it's not about any individual box. It's about getting this system working together. And I'll run through this at lightning speed. Number one, mission clarity. Where are you going? What is your North Star? But you've got to have some focus and prioritization, especially for the innovators in the room who are in startup mode. You cannot spread yourself too thin. So mission clarity is incredibly important. The second piece that has been a common theme from this conference is the human side of business. And I would challenge you, the human side of business makes AI look simple because we are all different. We are all different personalities. And what I've done now time and time again with my teams is not just interview them, not just welcome to my team or my company. I try and make sure we take that extra step to do personality profiles, Myers-Briggs or DISC, to really understand what's behind those people. And I don't do it just for them, I do it for myself. Because then, as we form a team or a company, we really understand the assets and the personalities and the diversity we get to leverage. And it is such an important part really taking that part seriously to get the best out of your team. The third component is this non-optional part. So now you know your personalities and people, you're going to put a business plan together. You need non-optional commitment. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean dictatorial. I mean debate your business plan, challenge every strategy, but once you agree that's the direction you're going, get in the boat and get rowing. Don't second guess the meeting at the airport afterwards. Don't, if there's something to say, get it out on the table, debate it, figure it out as a team, and make sure that team can go conquer that mountain. Because then you need to create a plan and really create a detailed plan to execute and prioritize, and that planning stage is equally important. But then you've got to come up with a rigorous execution plan. Cisco used to have this thing called the weekly commit. Used to do these beautiful business plans, these great strategic long-term plans, and this year we've got to do $3 billion. How do you do $3 billion? First of all, you break it down into quarters. Okay, every quarter I've got to do this. Then you break it down into months. Then you actually break it down into weeks and say, okay, this week I've got to get done this. And so every Monday you report out, what did you do last week? What did you do this week? And what can you share amongst your team? We used to call it news you can use. Best practices, market dynamics, what's going on, what's working, what's not. And make sure that team is a high-performance team working in alignment. There are too many companies that spend thousands, if not millions of dollars working with consultants to get these beautiful plans, to raise money, to get the board off their backs, and then they sit in the CEO's top drawer. And then functional silo after functional silo does their best, working incredibly hard to execute a business plan. Make sure that collaboration is this superpower wrapper that helps get you to the end result. So, I want to really challenge everyone in this room. Human and AI is the non-optional component. Don't be scared about it. Make sure it's part of your business. Understand its weaknesses, its challenges, its flaws. Like every technology we've used, it's going to improve and improve and improve. NVIDIA today are the third most valuable asset on this planet. So put that in perspective. I'm not talking company ranking. There's only two things more valuable on this planet financially than NVIDIA, and it's the United States and China. It's fact. It's credible, right? Of that $2.7 trillion worth of AI infrastructure being built today, 4 companies represent 700 billion of that, which is bigger than the GDP of the country we're enjoying this week. So the magnitude is enormous. The power is enormous. But please, please, don't be scared. I don't want to be, I'm not promoting an artificial optimism here. I'm challenging us all to be good human beings. I'm challenging us to use 2 superpowers that we can learn together, we can collaborate together. And I would challenge you, it's not only a business benefit, your community can benefit from it, your country can benefit from it, and hey, why can't the planet benefit from it? I wish you all the good success. Please, if I could, give me critiques, give me feedback. I'm on LinkedIn. That's my WhatsApp and telephone number. The book is available on Amazon. And I'm here all night. I'd love to network and further this conversation with everybody. It's a complex one. But boy, if you lean into it, focus, and execute, look at the amazing resources and talent we've seen over the last couple of days. Don't just come here, put it in background mode, leverage the network you've established here. Thank you very much.